Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some work on my 2D4X here. I hit, yeah, I do this every time, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? My hotkey seems to be something in Unity. My hotkey Control Shift L seems to be some some sort of uh, button. It does something in Unity, and it always shocks. Like, what is that? Every time I do it. Anyways, I wanted. So what we did last time is we got the AI script for the different factions to build buildings if they don't have enough food. And I just, we always start by playing what we did last time to make sure that it fucking works. And that it works 90% of the time. So we'll undo this and we're just gonna wait down here. There's the first one, and I actually have this on another window. I don't remember doing that, but it's there. So we got this is the thing because my it found food. I thought we'd change this. That's fine. Faction 1 is building a Fisher's Shack. Faction 2 has enough food. Faction, they found a Fisher's Shack. We should have put a faction thing in this debug log. Faction 3 is building a Fisher's Shack. Faction 4 has enough food. This guy found a building. Faction 5 is building Fisher's Shack and Umatilla, and then let's unpause it because we want to go to the next day here. I clicked, so that's why this thing popped up. We can test our closing. There we go. Then we're going to wait for the day to end, and it should be. There we go. It's going to check again. Hour 0 is already built, so it should be food building should return null, which it did. Faction 2 has enough food. What is going on with Faction 3? Faction 3 is, yeah, we need to change this to say which faction. The Fishing Shack is already built, so the food building is null. Faction 4 has enough food. The Fisher's Shack is already built. Boom, it's done. I think if we let this run another day, well, let's find out. I think if we let this run another day here, we're gonna have an issue. No, it's just gonna keep not doing it, which is fine. That's what we want right now. Later on, we're gonna have to assign people. We're gonna have to do all sorts of stuff. But for what we're up to, we're just doing baby steps here, and we can put this. Oh, I have 2 consoles. That's interesting. What is this thing? Oh, okay. So first thing we got to do is we got to update the README. We do this every time. Not every time, but almost every time we update the README. Let's make sure I'm streaming, which I am. Make sure my music isn't playing. All right, perfect. We are on 12 here now. I like to bitch and moan about Unity having issues, but it's generally, I'm on like the newest version so it's not Unity. It is Unity's fault, but I probably shouldn't be using the newest version, but I figured that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm doing. What's the worst thing that can happen? Just tons of bugs and shit. So here we go. Let's see. What we want to do now is we wrote this whole script with build improvements here. We can close this thing. Build improvements. Come over here. We have this whole thing with build improvements where it's going to build and charge for stuff that's called build building. We're gonna, and the AI uses this currently. We're gonna make it so that the player also uses this build building thing, but it's not gonna do stuff like set the number of workers. That's gonna be up to the player. So let's double check something else that we were doing to make sure it's still working, and that is that the buildings are still showing up on the list, right? Which they were before. Yeah, so we have the Fisher Shack and the Forest Shack, and this is the part, it's just busted. We took that away, but we're going to change that right now. So that build building button, it used to work, but we're ripping out some code because I didn't want duplicate code for the AI and the player. So we're gonna redo that. So buildings panel, So this puts the possible buildings on the list. What do we have on this button? This is going to be we move this somewhere. Here it is. Expand the buildings panel. Possible buildings panel. No, we need the possible buildings description panel. This is what we're doing. There's a button on here, which is build button. So what does this thing do? UI build county improvements is what that is doing. So what is this? So these are very similar. I don't know if I like that build button. Banker, check building costs. And this is all we have it setting to do. So let's look at this banker though. Check building cost is used. All right, so that's how we wanted. Do we really want this to be called UI build county improvements? I guess it's fine for now. If I think of something better that I'm a big renamer. So this is the players faction, and it passes in this faction, and then it does, if this is true, it should we should have this. Okay, wait. We click the build button and it needs to check some other stuff. So what it needs to check, let's go back. It needs to make sure that we have workers assigned, and I guess the banker should be that. I guess that will be the banker. So when we click this button, it needs to check these things too. And do these go up anymore? They do not. We broke this all to. This should be easy to fix because we had this already set up somewhere else. So we'll just copy that code over or whatever. This thing mines wood. Perfect. And we're going to put a picture here. That's what eventually. So the first thing it's going to need to do on this UI build building or build button is it checks the cost and it says there's enough, let's get this thing out of here. We'll just stick it down here temporarily. We got too many of these. There's enough influence, then we need to check the workers part, which I think is what we have down here. We have check enough influence. What is this crap? See, we got rid of this whole thing. This can go away. Yeah, that can go away. I wonder how we were doing the checking of the workers. It's hard to go back and remember my old code. We'll figure it out though. So we probably want the banker to also make sure there's enough workers. Because you need to have at least one person assigned to building it when you build it. Yeah, I guess we'll have the banker do it for now. Maybe we'll move it later. Check for workers. We're going to probably... What did you... I hit tab and it put something crazy in there. We're going to have to pass in... How are we going to do this? So we're going to have to pass in. So this first thing, we check for the building costs. That's enough. So you hit the build button, it checks for the building costs, and then it also needs to check the building's workers, because when you do that up the plus and minus button, it actually assigns the workers. Well, it used to. So it needs to check the building. We need to pass in a faction and building info again. It's the same thing. We'll pass it to the banker. And same exact thing. We'll pass this in. And then we will, do we even need the faction? I don't think we need the faction. It doesn't matter at this point. We just need the building info. And the first thing we'll do is we'll say build, if, we're going to baby step this shit like I always do. If the building info dot current workers is greater than 0, we'll debug log. There are workers. And then else, we'll turn on. Actually, we'll debug log that. We need to return a bool though. So we won't do it here. We won't do it here. We'll do this stuff elsewhere. We'll just say this needs to go true, and this needs to be a bool. This stuff is somewhat new to me, so I gotta. I still like need to figure out how this shit works. So this is going to return true, and this is going to return false, and that's pretty much the whole thing. We can do it. We can do it with one line, I think. If we do. I think we can just do that. Return building info, current workers is greater than 0. So that will return true if that's true, and it will return false if that's false. I think that's how that works. Like I said, this is somewhat new to me. So then we'll put check for workers, and we'll pass in this building info. And that's it. No, that's not it. If this is, you know, I have this on my clipboard, I think. Well, it's fine. Is equal to true. What the fuck, man? Okay, everything's fine. KD. If that's equal to true, debug log. You have enough workers. And else. Not enough workers. And I actually think we have not enough workers a panel. So let's turn this thing on. And let's see how this works out. No enough. Oh, this was running in the background the whole time. I was talking with somebody in chat last time about just making sure this is all close. Programming and the amount of time that passes and working for 8 hours. Like if I do 3 hours or less, time flies. If I do any more than that, everything grinds to a halt. And I still can't believe that should pop up something. Yep. So we don't have enough workers. So there is enough influence, but we don't have enough workers or signs. So we need to fix these buttons too. Let's pretend we're gonna build one over here. Tillamook Garden Shack. What are these? This is something else. I don't know if we're on the right spot. So there's a way we can fix that because that might be a problem. Let's fix that first. So Forester's Shack is, let's fix that first because I don't know if I'm on the right spot. And that could be a problem when you're playing it. So this is on the description, building name, title, text. I wonder where we're accessing this to get those building name text. It's right here. So let's rename this though. And that's going to fuck up our thing here though. Yeah, building name title. There we go. So what are we doing here? We have this panel refreshing, and we're putting this the building name. Can we also put, let's see if we can, so this thing knows what county it's in, which is something that I want to like rethink. So right now, like everything, like this knows this and that knows that. All of these different lists are pointing at each other and they're all holding the same information. There's got to be a way to do this. I wonder if there's a way, and I was thinking about this the other day, is there like a way to look at, whoops, what was that? I don't think this is possible, but C#, find out the list of variable is in. So basically, is there a way, an easy, so we know that the building info is in this list, this county list. Is there, so what I'm trying to figure out is, and this is a legitimate question. I've been trying to stop asking questions that I don't want the answers to. So if the building is in the county list, can it look back and say what, like look up and say, oh, I'm in this county list. So like its parent county list, like it has to know it's in that list, not know in the existential, I can't even say the word today. Certain days I can't say certain words. It's a bummer. Let's think about this. No, none of these are I'm not asking the right questions here. In C#, we know I'm going to say knows what list it is in. The first line, I get a book object for a list. Yeah, there's got to be another way to do it. Because so this would actually solve this problem very easily if we could say I think this moved. It did move because somehow I clicked on something. So we need to know the county it's in, and we have that stored in here, but it's like duplicate information. Maybe that's the only way to do it. Maybe I should watch some tutorials on like data management or something, because we can do building info. Get this thing the fuck off me. County name. Oh, are we not storing the county name? Oh, did we just call it name? No, we're not storing the county name. That's fine. We can do it this way. And then plus, we could do the plus thing, but let's do it this other way. When it's sentences, I like to do it like this. See how this thing. $, squigs, squigs, and okay, building info, county, game object name, space. I wonder if we should do that. All right, well, let's see how that works. Portland's Forest Shack. Forester's Shack. I feel like that's wrong. It is the Forester's Shack, so that is right. Portland's Garden Shack. Let's check another one. See, we still have this open. So that should still be Portland's because we still have this open. Is this Tillamook? It is. That's where we get our cheese. All right, so that is much better, I think, for what we're doing. So now we need to figure out what's up with these buttons because I tore them apart. Here we go. So this should be on the same minus. Oh, I just commented out everything. I think we were just trying to fix some bugs. I don't know what the fuck this is. Oh, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to try to use get component less. We're going to try to not use that as much. All right, so the plus and minus button, what are we doing here? Look at this big long ass piece of shit. So don't we already know this information? Panel refresh. On the panel refresh, we're getting the component every time it refreshes, which gets all this information. So this plus and minus button, let's actually leave this here and like kind of rewrite it. We don't actually need, let me think. No, this is already getting it on here. So what we can do is put up here a private building info, and then down here we can get rid of this. So this is going to equal, when it refreshes, it's going to equal that. Then in the minus button, let's do the plus button first, actually. Let's just move it up here too, so I don't have to scroll down so far. I don't know what this current employee's refresh is. So building info is we already been taking care of that part. Yeah, so you hit the plus button. Building info, current workers, plus. That's what it does. But it can't be above this. And isn't there like a ceiling button or a ceiling thing? I think there is. Ceiling? No. Roof? Max? Int? No. Max, that's going to give us the infinite int. It's... Now, anyway, back to the thing I was talking about in chat. So that person said they like, get into it and they can go forever programming. And I just wonder if it's the same for developers who work for a living doing it. Like, this is a hobby for me, so it's like fun to jump on here. And and if I don't feel like doing it, I just don't do it. But I feel like you'd get so burned out. If there's a professional developer out there, tell me. Wouldn't you don't you get burned out and doing it for 8 hours? It seems insane. But what the fuck am I trying to do? I want it to only go up to a certain stop at I can't think of how to explain anything, how to Google anything today. It's like my Googling skills have gone away today. So let's ask ChatGPT. Um, you know, I read Reddit a lot, and sometimes I look at the Unity uh, channel subreddit. All words have left me today, and people seem to be pretty aggressive about Chat GPT. Like, you should not use it, or whatever. You should not use it, or you should use it. Like, someone will comment, "Oh, I've been learning and I use Chat GPT to help," and people will be like, "Fuck you," and downvote them. In C sharp, how do I make it so a number can't go above another number? See, I can't think. Yeah, I thought there was like a built-in thing, because this is the way I did it before. I thought there was like a ceiling. I think ceiling just rounds it up, and floors it down. Uh, isn't there some built-in way? All right. Well, that was the way that I was doing it before. It's this right here is what I was doing before. I was hoping that we didn't have to do it that way. If building info, what do you? Oh, look at this suggestion. Get the fuck out of here. Current workers is greater than building current workers equals max workers. All right, so this with the plus button, I guess we could just do this real quick with the minus button. It's pretty much the same thing. It is the same thing, except we just take one away. So I wonder if there, we could do, fuck it. We could do a thing there. Oh, look at this. If it's greater than, oh, we did it differently over here. No, go back to the, oh God, what have I done? Building info minus current workers. And it's this same thing. I guess it's not the same, but it's similar. Is less than 0. And we can get rid of this crap. And we can get rid of, I mean, so this is back, this is back to the thing where we want to have less, like, duplicate code. So maybe there's a way to do this without, it's got to be connected to the two different buttons. So maybe this is fine. Maybe we shouldn't cry about this little tiny bit of duplicate code. And then I think these are still connected. It looks like it. So let's see if this shit works. We can maximize this. We go to buildings. We go Fisher's Shack. Portland's Fisher's Shack. Man, it feels like a lot of Portland's Fisher's Shack. The Fishers own the shack. So that's right. Oh, this isn't working. It might be working, but we can't see that it's working. So what's going on here? we have, this is going to current workers. Current workers changed. We're invoking this. Why the fuck are we doing that? Some of these, I think we would have to. We were subscribing to every building. Fuck that. Uh, all right, yeah, fuck that. Fuck subscribing to every. I remember writing that code and being like, "This is weird." What we want to do is on the population description panel. We already have this open. Population description panel. We can do it right here at the end of this, actually, where it just refreshes that thing. We should have it up here. Max employees, current employees, max employees. Was that even showing the right max employees? The max employees is showing right. This looks confusing, but the max employees is showing right. The current employees text we need to update. I guess. I wonder why. Did we put it somewhere else? What is this shit? Here it is. Current employees refresh. Wonder why we did it this way. Well, it's got to be. There was probably some reason for it, but we'll just do it. Dot text equals. What do we do? This toString or some shit. And then this is going to be the same with the minus. And then yeah, I don't like these apostrophes everywhere. All right, it won't go above 5. Oh, maybe it was because, oh no. Did we want it to remember maybe? I don't know. Did that number, is there a way we can see this? Let's look over here. What are we in, Portland? Well, they're all 0. I'm on the Garden Shack. This should be going up. Building name. Whoops. I want to see currently working population. Okay, so that's not it. Where the fuck's the current? Is it right in front of max workers? Where's this thing? Where's the current workers? Oh, I know why. We can't see it because it's a getter setter. But what we could do is Yeah, we can't. You can't see inside a getter setter, but what we can do is do this. Is make this little fucker viewable, and it should show up over here now. Yeah, so it is changing it. Okay, so if we click away, we need to reset that, because otherwise it's going to remember that shit. Did you see it flash in there for a second? We'll do it again. Forester Shack, we're in Portland. Forester Shack, current workers is 1. See, it's going up. It's going down, but then we click away, and we go to Garden Shack. That's at 0. This is still at 1. So we either can have it remember that, but let's say we close this. Oh, it went away. Did I turn this down? Oh, weird. What the fuck, man? All right, let's make sure. We're on Fisher Shack. We're in the Portland's Fisher Shack. Current workers is 0. We're going to make it to 3. We can see it's 3. We click over to here. It's still 3. We click over to here. It's still 3, which is fine. We close this. It's still 3. But then when we reopen this, it turns it to 0. Okay, so we need, it can't be 3 while we're dicking around with it. I mean, it could. But if you, okay, let's do this and fuck it up even more. Let's say we go to 3, we go back to here, and we go to here. We go to here. It's at 0 again. What's resetting this? Seems to reset it on occasion. If it always stays at 0, that's fine. We just can't have it fucking floating around as a 2. Okay, it must be when it refreshes. But then what happens if we hit build here? You have enough workers. I guess I'm like looking for a problem that doesn't exist. It's when you click on it again. How did we set that? We must have set something. We gotta find where this shit's getting checked, because what the fuck? That's commented out. That's commented out. Nothing is checking this thing. So let's go back. Where was that? We don't even need this to be a getter setter currently. There's a big cat here on my keyboard. Yeah, this doesn't even need to be a getter setter anymore. A property or whatever they call it. What is this dumb shit? This doesn't need to be a getter setter currently. We were invoking this thing, but it doesn't really matter at this point. So let's go continuing on and see what the next problem will be. We got to fix the max button. That's under this one. This is pretty easy. So I see what we were trying to do here. We were trying to get away with that, I see what we were trying to do. We were trying to use that getter setter, which is fine, and we probably could. And we probably could, actually. We were firing off an event, and then this thing would subscribe to it. But we would... I think there's an easier way to do this. We can go back to or a better way to. The problem with that event thing is every building. No, would it have to be every building? That invokes this thing. When that changes, that thing invokes, and then we would have some sort of. Did I delete it already? This thing would subscribe to it at the beginning. Yeah, this is the problem, is we have to subscribe to every building to make sure that, so that's not a very good idea, but we can do something else that's pretty easy. UI build improvements. No, it's building info. So this building info is attached to the prefab. So the building info is attached to a prefab, and for prefabs, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't drag shit out of the prefab. Let's look at this prefab. It's not gonna be there. UI building button. This is a different thing. That's the other, isn't a prefab? Building title. Okay, no, this is the UI building thing. I guess it's not a prefab. How the fuck did we do it with that? Did we stick the, I do this every time. It's over here. Yeah, and each one of these, and we can turn this into a scriptable object at some point. So these things are good. What the fuck were we working on? All right, so this thing, if the current workers change, we can't drag in. I don't think we can. We can try it. Completed text game object. Can we go away from here, go back to here, and like just try to drag in some game object? Yeah, it's got to be, the game object has to be, oh, it probably needs a text game object. Those aren't game objects. Those are, did I click on the wrong thing? Don't do that. No, we want this to go away. None. I said none. Fuck you. It won't do it. Maybe we can control Z our way out of here. All right. This isn't going up anymore, I don't think. No. Okay. I don't think, let's just pretend. Let's just try to do it and see what happens, but I don't think you can drag in Text Mesh Pro. This is going to be current workers text. And we would go, well, let's put it in here. we would go to the description panel. And then it's going to be current workers text. Yeah, you can't put it in here. We can, because it's a prefab, they only can like reference themselves. We could on Awake, we could assign it. But I think the best option, so let's go back to that. I don't want to subscribe to everything. That's dumb. So there, we got to think of a way. That's dumb to subscribe to every building. So we need this. Not this. We're in the wrong spot. We're in the wrong spot again. It's here. There's the plus button. We need this to be updated every time the current workers change. And we can do it this way, right? Why couldn't I do it this way? Oh, because it's just duplicate crap. And then we would have this also in here. I mean, I guess that works. But it does seem like something, if something else were to affect it, we would want that thing to change. I mean, we'll get rid of this event in a second here. This is just some Unity error because I have things selected. So we'll ignore it for now. I mean, that works. Do we care that much? I do like reducing. I don't think we care that much. This is probably fine. It's good enough for now. And then we don't need this other thing. I'm going to leave this here for a second though. Let's comment the whole thing out though. Let's comment this whole thing out. Nothing's referencing it. And then let's put over here, like, saving this just in case we find a current employees. We're calling them workers now. Workers bug. We'll keep this around temporarily. We'll put it down here though. And then what's all this on disable shit? What the fuck are you doing? All right, come back. Come back here. We'll put you down here. We were unsubscribing from all of that shit. We were going down this list and unsubscribing. That seems like insanity to me. To be subscribing and unsubscribing. I know I was getting excited for lists or for events for a while. What is this thing? We were subscribing to some other refreshing thing. This might actually be something we need. We'll leave that there temporarily. The other thing we don't need. What is this shit? Okay. This we're going to get rid of just because it's embarrassing, man. No, it's not embarrassing. We just don't need it anymore. So the other thing we need, when we click that build button, It should. All right. So when we click this build button, it should pop up a confirmation. Are you sure panel? Are you sure you want to build? I think there's a script on here, one of these things. Yeah, this is, so are you sure panel? You have enough workers. I don't know why it always defaults to false unless I want it to be true, and then, or unless I want it to be false, then it defaults to. All right, so that should pop up. You have enough workers. There's enough influence. Yeah, so there's enough influence. There's enough workers. There's not enough influence. Let's kind of keep this. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all. I don't know. I give a shit about that. So those things should all happen. This is pretty simple. We're using these check for workers. We're using this thing. Then the are you sure panel, we need to find that script wherever the fuck it is. It's probably should be in here. I don't think we need another script. Is there an are you sure in here? And we should probably, I like to put things in, I don't know. I like to put things in order of how they are on the screen and shit. It probably doesn't matter. I was actually telling one of my coworkers that like 20 years ago, I was very disorganized and my brain could handle it. Now everything has to be like in very, very specific. Oh, look at this. Here it is. Current building. Where did we confirm building text? Okay, so when the panel refreshes, here's where this thing, building info. All right, so there's a lot of stuff that we just had working already. Let's double check that this are you sure thing works. Then we'll go to the next part, which is where we already wrote a bunch of this stuff. Are you sure you want to build the shack? Now this should not work. We say yes, and the thing closes, but nothing should be well, it should have moved over here if we wanted it, if it was working still. So if you hit yes, we used to have this crazy build. Yeah, look at this. It's in the scene load. UI building confirmed. We have it in scene load. That shouldn't be there. Let's look at what this thing is. It's like, I mean, I did get to this point. What's going on over here? Why isn't this saved? All right, we'll just save it and hope that. Yeah, this totally doesn't need to be. It could just be a normal thing. Do we have this open? We don't. So scene load, it should. This is 100% should not be on scene load. Fuck that. UI building confirmed. What does this thing look like? I don't think we need this to be a separate script. I got into, it said they're called mono behaviors, and I really got into this whole mono behavior idea. But we don't need to get that into the mono behavior thing. Like it's nice and all, but it's also kind of, I was out of control here. That's what I'm. We're gonna rename this to confirm building. Yes, confirm build button. We're going to call it that. We don't need this shit. Building. Look at this. This is like half. What the fuck was I doing here? We were like invoking something, called it building confirm. What did that do? Where the fuck is this? This is in world map load. This didn't even do anything. It probably did. Oh, this is spelled wrong. Confirm build button. It probably did do something, but we've torn out so much of it. So first thing, let's get rid of this script that's in here. I have like a dead script. Here we go. Old Unity shit. We can just drag this confirm thing the fuck out of our UI building confirm. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need that shit anymore. That was some dumb shit. Then we're going to use the banker, actually. We're going to use the banker again right here. So are you sure? Yes button. Yeah, this is missing the game object. It should be here. And then we're going to put in this yes confirm thing. Yes confirm button. We'll save that shit. We'll go to here. We're going to make this. Let's get rid of this crap. I don't know what it is. Oh, it looks like I was starting to try to get the. We must have done this like a couple of weekends ago. But we don't need this. What we're gonna do instead, I went back too far. We're just gonna write this from scratch. This is gonna be the banker. We already have a banker here. Oh, we don't have a banker in here. I thought we put a banker. I thought I saw some banking action happening earlier. We don't. We'll use the banker. Where are we assigning it? This is there. So we can just go. We just have a private banker here. Instead of getting components, we're just gonna drag this shit in here. Because remember, I was all going hog wild, and someone in chat said, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was getting all hog wild with get component. Too hog wild, maybe. I'm still waiting for some confirmation from more than one person that it's not. Are you gonna fucking update? What do you want? Oh. Luckily, man, if you experienced programming 30 years ago, it was, when you see, there's that picture of that woman who, like, she programmed, like, I can't remember what it was. It was something remarkable, like the moon landing or some shit. And it's her standing next to a stack of paper code. And the stack is like as tall as her or taller. And imagine debugging that shit. It's on a piece of paper. You literally, with a pen, would go through and look for mistakes, and you probably would have an assistant who then just went over your code looking for mistakes. Because when you ran it, it also took hours to fucking compile, if they were compiling shit at all. My stepdad was telling me that when he was in college, they used fucking punch cards they had to take a programming class, and it was with punch cards. And I was like, what? It was like he went to UCSD too, so it's not like podunk college. It was like a real college. I think he went to UCSD. I don't know where the fuck he went, but it was either in LA or San Diego, a larger university. Anyways, what the fuck were we doing? We're gonna drag this. Now this should, we're gonna drag this banker in here. The bank, and there's a banker who works at the bank. Now we have a banker down there. I got too excited with get components, so now I'm getting away from that as much as possible. Yes, confirm we're going to, what is it called? Remove cost of hero? No, what's it called? They should be check for charge for building is what we want. And this is named wrong. Where is that? Remove cost of charge for hero. We want this stuff to be all named the same or similarly. Oh. The thing we didn't even want is charge for building. And then we need to send in a faction, which is going to be the player faction. Do we already have that here? We have building info on the thing. Where are we setting this off? I feel like I'm in the wrong spot all of a sudden. We have this here. Where is this thing chilling? It's on possible building. Maybe. Where the fuck did the thing go? Maybe. Just making sure that's where it is. It's right here. We have the Are You Sure panel on this thing. Let's not put this here. Let's not put this here. This is in the wrong spot. Let's put this. We don't need the banker here anymore. Let's put this here. Are You Sure panel. Then this should be. We need this to go away. Whoa, whoa. What am I pushing? I'm not pushing Z, I'm pushing X. What is all this garbage? So do we want this? We have a build button here. You don't have it. What did I just fucking do, man? We're gonna have, I copied over the shit that I cut on another. Okay. Public void. Yes. Confirm button. And this actually should be at the bottom. And in here, here's where we're gonna go banker. So we also need to do something else here because I cut this out of here. We need to out of this other thing. Get the fuck out of here. What's your problem? Get the fuck out of here. I didn't save this. That I did. See, like an hour has passed already, and we're just getting going. This is what I was talking about earlier. I don't care about that. Get it out of there too. This needs to go here. Okay, let me save that. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Okay, I am back. And I gotta turn off my break timer. 30 seconds. There we go. What were we doing? We were doing this. All right, so the banker, charge for building. We gotta pass in a faction, which, do we already have a faction in here? I feel like we do. Whoops. No, not whoops. But we need this to be, I guess we didn't need to cut that whole thing. We need a private faction, and then faction equal that. We also need a private, oh, this can't be on Awake though. The faction can be on Awake. This can be here though, because you know what? It's getting assigned. It's getting assigned. You have to push the build button before you can push the yes button. So this has to be assigned ahead of time. So we only need that once. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Charge for building. Boom. And then we need it to build the building. And the bank, is the banker building the buildings? No. Building and improvements is building the buildings. So we also are going to need a building improvement in here. What's going on with this? Am I slid over a little bit? No. There's just some weirdness. So we need... We don't have a building, and we have a banker here. And we need a serialized field. No, we don't, because... When does this thing wake up? UI build improvements. Yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to need a private build improvements here. It's not going to work on Awake, but it can work right. It can work on here. And the build improvements, whoops. Fuck you. Improve build improvements can equal. This one has to equal that. And then here, we're gonna do build improvements faction. And this needs a building, not a building info. I wonder, oh, because we're moving the building around. So we're gonna need a building in here. I got a sneeze coming on. Yeah, we need a building in here. I don't think info. Oh, it does have a game object. There we go. What's your fucking problem? Oh, because there's a, we need build building. Build building. uh, dot build building. There we go. Now we have another issue here, and that is that we set up this build building to work only with the AI currently. Oh, we have it. We have the charge for thing already in here. We have a typo right there. We have this charge for already in here, so we can take this charge out. So we go through. I'm looking at. I guess we'll leave it like this. Kitty's meowing. I let the cat in, and now he's unhappy with being inside, because that's what he does. That's what you do, Kitty. He needs some pets. I gotta stop. I gotta take a pet the cat break here. I would put him on my lap so you guys could see him, but he doesn't like that. He doesn't like being picked up. He doesn't like being picked up or being in high spots. All right, so he's gonna remove that. Or the cat's not gonna do it. The banker's gonna do it. And I guess we're using an instance of the banker here. Who cares? Who knows? What the fuck? That's fine. I guess we could have done that in the other. We could have. We could have just used the instance of it here. Let's be consistent. All right. So I guess we'll leave this here. It's getting it from the building. I mean, this is fine. The banker removes the cost, which is what we did. And then this is for the AI only. So if faction dot is player equals false, we do this other stuff. This stuff is only for the AI, and it's changing that to be built, and it's moving it over. Is that all we need to do? I mean, I knew I would have to have some changes. Oh no, we got to do this. Number of workers. We need to do this here. But we need number of workers. We can put number of workers equals divides the total population by 2, and because it is an int, it's always rounded down. That's good to a reminder for myself. That's why I typed that shit in there. And then it's gonna max it out But for the player, we've already. But what happens when we click that button? Are we gonna get fucked up? Well, we'll find out. And then it goes through each one of the population. Man, I hate when the cat lays right next to the wheels on my chair. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm worried I'm gonna squish his head by moving my chair. All right, I think this is somewhat right. So let's find out. Let's find out what happens next. And comment this thing out. We don't need that. I'm sure some problem is gonna happen. Well, we need to see the thing here, so we'll hit play. I suddenly forgot where the play button was. So we go back to, let's do Garden Shack this time. Let's hit build. Doesn't work. I don't like that text, but let's do one. There's enough influence. You have enough workers. The Shipbirds is building the Portland Garden Shack. So let's go down. And this thing should have current workers 1. Aha! There is a problem though. And that problem is this garden shack should have moved over to here. These things need to be refreshed. So after this, we need to, what did we call this thing? What are we doing with this? See, look at all this garbage we had before. I don't know. Maybe we need that again later. So we need to, after it builds the building and moves that shit around, we need to refresh that panel. And that isn't actually that big of a deal because I think it's right here. Yeah, we have the panel refresher. And does this have an instance? It does have an instance. So we can just go, and this does both, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we just go to this thing and we go UI buildings panel dot instance dot panel refresher. What's your problem? Oh, I know what your problem is. You need that. There we go. So let's try this again. And we also need to let it run long enough for the UI's stuff to, or the AI's stuff to kick off. Let's do Forest Shack this time. Let's do 2 people this time. Build. Yes. All right, we have another problem here. Oh, wait, we never did that. We never did it where it says under construction. Let's unpause this. Let's close this thing. It's building. Faction 1 is building. They have enough food. I think this is working. Let's go up so the next day kicks off. All right, they've stopped building. We don't. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, we're using the wrong thing here. This shouldn't bring up this one. It has a different panel. I'm tempted just to let it slide, but we're not going to do that. It's because we have on this prefab, you know what we could do? Oh no, that's not going to work. All right, it doesn't matter. On this prefab, when we click on it, oh, this is a different prefab. This is this prefab over here. This is very confusing. So we do have the completed text, building title text. We have that. We need an under construction text. What the fuck is this thing? Okay, so this was my test text. We can call this under construction text, and we don't need to say fuck anymore. I mean, we need to say fuck all the time, but we wanted to say under construction. We'll put an exclamation point in there. Sure. Let's turn it on, and then let's go to this thing. And let's fix this so that it's actually in a good spot, but we just want to auto. Ew. Ew. Let's not turn into auto. Let's do 12 point. There we go. That's pretty good. We're gonna redo all of this stuff. The problem with what we're doing here. No, there is no problem. We'll never have any problems at all. This thing says under construction now, and this should probably be here. And then what is the completed? Completed says completed. What do you look like? You're large. Let's not auto. Let's go 12. And that's fine. We have it centered and centered. All right, so we need to turn this under construction on when we move it. Build improvements. Oh, we didn't check this. Let's check this real quick. This needs to be saved. Then how we can check this is here. Building the Forest Shack, Christina Williams, who is the leader. That's fine for now. Let's make sure the next day thing works still. It's supposed to. Yeah, and she's still queued up. It's ugly. Portland Forest Shack. Portland Forest Shack. Currently, the leader will do that stuff. We'll have to change it to like. We'll have to probably put a bool on there or something that's like is allowed to work. Oh, kitty. I wish you weren't sitting there. What were we doing though before I decided we needed to check that? We were going to set this to under construction, turning on. We never did this before. We just kind of skipped over it, but I think it's time. It's time. Is being built is true. That goes to there. I'm trying to think if we. There's going to have to be a whole different variable. There's going to have to be like people who work on it to construct it, and then people who work on it to, who's their actual workers on it. On this, though, what we could do is on this one, Do we have a script? I mean, we must have a script on here. Actual building gets assigned later. We need this. I'm gonna put it. I was thinking we didn't need to. I think I need to put a. We need to have in here. Workers who are building the building and workers who are working at the building. I like to put everything right in the title. It's easier for me to read through this shit. We'll just dump this like wherever. This is done. We did this. Oh, this is what we're doing right now. This was all for the next round. Building description. No, we need a game object that is called under construction game object. And we will go back to our prefabs and go to here. Put that there. This is whatever. It doesn't matter. And then when this thing is built, if it's the player, wasn't that the building? Oh no, this is some weird UI thing. I think we have UI game object. We're gonna have to get component. We don't have a choice. What did we call this script? UI building button. Luckily, this doesn't happen very often. What are we doing? Under construction, set active. And it currently, we don't have, and nothing ever happens when it's finished being constructed. That's how far along we are. But let's make sure that this works. I don't know if I saved that. It looks like I did. Man, it's interesting to feel the changes of what I've. Well, let's use the max button. Of how my programming skills have gone up. I still am very much a beginner, but it's I struggled to get this shit to work originally. Really struggled. And now it's like we get bugs and stuff. We get errors all the time, but at least I can solve them. Occasionally I run into one. It takes me a couple hours to fix. But so the building info, it doesn't know what that UI object is. I thought we assigned that at some point. So what happens? Where do we assign that? When we are, there's an, where we're assigning that is when where's this refresh fucking thing? Because we can just jump to it. And that was on some other. It's right here. Create UI buildings. Building info equals that. Actual building. These are creating this, but then we need to have, is that for real? Do we need to do that? I guess we do. Where are we, what is this actual building thing? This is quite a loop that we're doing here. So we're assigning the actual building to the UI button, and we need to assign the UI button to the actual building. Which is fucking dumb. Right? Oh, I got a capital here. This is a game object, so then we're gonna, wait, and this is under building info. UI building button. Oh, that's the script. UI building. It's a game object. Why doesn't it like this? UI build. It's right here. Oh. What a weird, convoluted pile of shit. So back to me talking about how much I've improved. I've improved, but also made everything is now much more convoluted. No, that's not true. Certain things are much less convoluted. Like it's as we get to the edge of my knowledge, everything gets all convoluted. So it's like we're condensing the code, and then it gets all fucking convoluted again. What's this guy's name? Sharon Griffin. I have an Instacart. That didn't work. An Instacart. We didn't get a bug, but it didn't turn on. Instacart delivery driver named Griffin that drops food off pretty regularly. Where is this thing? I mean, this is it. Yeah, under construction definitely is not turned on. We can check something else here too. The actual building is down on this fort. Man, this is convoluted. The actual building is going to be, I don't know why I can't scroll. There we go. Right here. And here's the UI game object, which is, we're back to this. So why didn't you turn on? So that's assigned there. Um, I wonder if it like has a refresh issue. Get out of here. No. That's just for this. UI, this must have the wrong thing? This would bug out if this wasn't here. We're using the same... Let's go back to play here. For shack. Build. This is the wrong thing still, but that's okay. I'm going to put that on my list because current building is opening. Possible building description. Description panel. I'm putting that on this list because I'd already forgotten about it. And if I hadn't asked accidentally, this will be for the next round. So if we go back down, or we go up, actual building is this one, and it's in the current thing. And this is so they're pointing at the right things. You know what we can do? There's a better way to do this. There's a much better way to do this. I just saw this thing. Come on. This doesn't even have... I'm looking at the wrong thing. I need to be under this guy. Yeah, I need to be under this one. So what we can do... If we go back to building info and we rename this to is being built, then we go up here and we have a private bool called is being built. And then we go to here and we go like this and we get, and then we go set. This is close enough for what we're doing right now because we're going to change this though. Stop it. And then we say if is equal to true, UI, if that's equal to true, and if UI game object is not equal to null, then we're going to go UI game object dot, what is that? What is this thing? It's called UI building button. What is this? Where is this thing attached? The building info? Yeah, we know we need to do it there. And that was under construction. And then, hey, it did it the right one. Else. So we can. This should just turn it on and off on its own. The reason why we're doing this extra stuff is because the AI will also be adjusting this, and this isn't gonna matter. If it does, it won't exist if the AI is doing it though. So we need the null there. So then let's go back to actually this build improvements, and this can go away because it should do it on its own, or it should bug out. And if it bugs out, that's fine, because then we can track down the bugging outing. Man, Kitty, what the hell are you doing laying next to me down there? He doesn't do that frequently, but like I said, I don't want to move my chair and squish him. That shouldn't work. Perfect. Let's hit max this time. Do we not have this assigned? I was just saying. I cursed myself. Um, oh, we had like something weird. I wonder if that we have it like somewhere being turned off. Sometimes what also happens is like I have the wrong. I mean, it's there. That's the one. Hmm. So every time this changes, it should try to check that. But you know what? It might not be doing that. Let's see if it gets to here. This will cut down on something. Under construction. No, is being built. Is being built. Maybe it's one of those things where it's too fast. No, because it's a getter setter, and I renamed that stuff, and those other things are private. There it is. Set active true. Just making sure I don't have like false in there on accident. Let's put we put this in that one. Maybe it's turning it off again. I mean, it could be happening pretty quickly. Is not. No, we should put this is being built. UI game object is null. Is no. Is being built is false. Period. Semicolon. Or some fucking shit. All right. Go. Oh, I'm humming along to music you guys can't hear. I gotta stop that. Okay, so it's definitely getting there. So why wouldn't it be? I don't know what the fuck this thing is doing. But I'm not going to mess with it right now. Let's see. So we just created this thing. I mean, it would be, where else would it be used? Okay, so that's being true and false. That is, and it should happen regardless of, let's go back to our prefabs here. It should happen regardless of I wonder if something else is like triggering this thing. Let's run it with it, because I did have that thing called fuck that was turning thing, but I don't think it was just, so these should say under construction, yeah. And the new, I had that thing called fuck that we renamed this thing, But I don't think that, no, it would have found that variable unless we had it. I don't think I had that turn on with anything. It probably would have been over here. I think it was just called text at the time, too. Like, we'll never find that shit. Um, so let's do this. Let's delete this one. Let's duplicate it and delete the old one. And I think it's possible. Then let's hit play. We should get a bug, you know, because there's no, because now that thing isn't dragged in there. We should get some. It wouldn't happen right away, but it should happen soon. Should happen right about here, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna leave that one at the end just to make sure that's saved. Actual building is none. Maybe it is being, no. We know it is, but let's check to make sure. We need to go back to here. We need to go down to here. Is built is 0. 0 is nothing. Um, we just want to be able to see this thing. Whoops. Maybe, no, but it has to have, what? We'll check it anyways. UI game object is definitely not null. Every time I check this, it should be popping off a is being built thing. Every single time I check that, it should be changing it. This is building info. That doesn't make any sense. Like I said, every time I check that, it should. What happens if we go like here and check it? Oh, wait. Does it matter? We're not fucking with the getters. Whoops, wrong one. Even though I renamed that, maybe I'm not. No, we want this to be like that. No, I don't think that checking that would do anything. This is a public bool. I wonder, can I put like a serialized field here to see this better? I don't think I can. I don't think that does anything. I remember trying to see inside a getter setter before. And not having any luck. Yeah, it's still not on here. If game object else. Being built is false and game object is null. Being built is true and game object is null. Yeah, I don't think clicking that does anything because I'm clicking the one. I'm not clicking the getter setter part. We could probably write some jank code to, what am I doing here? Yeah, this doesn't do anything because it's not part of the getter setter. It's just fucking with this thing over here. Uh, with this one, and this doesn't do anything. But what we could do is, this is gonna be dumb, but we can do it. In update, we can just have some dumb bool here. We can just have some testing thing. We would just go. All right, this. All right, we'll hit play. Then I'm gonna have a smoke. Um, obviously, we can collapse that. Look at that. Look at it go. Obviously, we're not going to leave this thing in here. Look how fast that's going up. If we go to here, wait, is being built. I haven't clicked build yet. Oh, look at this one, says it's under construction. Did I even, oh, it's because I clicked the test bool thing on that one. Huh. All right, I'm gonna go take a quick break and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. I'm confused by this one, but we'll be right back. All right, Kitty, you moved. Kitty, you moved. I have no idea why this cat's laying next to me. Normally he doesn't do that. Unless he's scared. He gets scared sometimes. There's nothing going on like lightning and stuff, you know. The standard cat scaring things. People. Doesn't like people very much. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. We saw that it worked to a point. So this doesn't have that bool. Oh, it does it. The test bool's here. Whoops. But it's on right now. That's turning it on and off. See, and look, this is getting turned. I mean, obviously that's what's happening. But then what? Why isn't this getting? It is getting turned on. Is this another thing where we have to wait? But it should still be on. This doesn't need to be here anymore. We got rid of that thing. No, wait. This is that's the whole point. What we need it to be is I don't know what the fuck this is. This part. This is under UI build improvements. We should be kicking over this is being built equals true. Let's do it again and we'll double check, even though I've double checked 450 times. We'll double check again that when we build that, it is being built as false. Oh, those are all the other ones. Is being built is false. What? Oh, look at that. It turns it right off. But this thing something's turning this off. Okay, so that's the problem. And then it's the only thing that was saving in the other ones. So this is somewhere this is getting turned off. I don't know why I did it. Oh, is it? It's the test bool was turning it off. Okay, so let's get rid of the test bool for now. All right. Back to this, though. All of these will go away. The fuck, man? It's got to be something obvious. It's something obvious. Maybe this isn't a... But no, it wouldn't say this. I know what it is. It's, I know what it is. Oh, but it thinks it's this clone. Wait, I don't know what it is. Let's make sure. It is this clone. I was thinking it was assigned to a different clone, but no, it is that clone. Maybe it's happening too fast, but if it was happening too fast, when is this clone getting assigned? That clone is getting assigned in building refresher. Is it getting assigned in the building refresher? Which is not right here. Let's look at the building refresher. Which is here? No. Which is... we had it open. This should be gone. Okay, it is. You know, we could pin globals just to get that UI building button. I thought we had that recruit building. We don't need that. Recruit hero, I mean. County, we don't need open right now. Timekeeper, we don't need open right now. Random color faction. Build. The panel gets refreshed, but it shouldn't be turning that off. And it would have put a no, I guess it wouldn't necessarily have put a debug log, but we could, you know what we could do to see if this thing is getting like turned on and off real quick. Is being I feel like maybe this under no. Hmm. We don't need this collapsed. By the way, I was so happy with my life up until this very moment. Now I want to rethink the whole thing. Okay, so it's not getting like turned on and off real quick or something. Even though we saw it on, I just wanted to make sure. So this thing should just be should be on. It should be. Is there some other weird script turning things on and off? You know, because there's like a button stuff in here. This is very bizarre. Probably not that bizarre, but it's very bizarre. Under construction, completed text. The completed text actually doesn't make any sense to even exist anymore. Look, this has a completed text thing in here, which is weird. Is that where I said what is this dumb shit? I think it is. Uh, building info. What is this dumb shit? I don't know. Get it the fuck out of here. Hmm. Uh. What happens if we put in this here? Set active true. I'm wondering, let's do this just for the fuck of it. I can't remember how to do this. I'm gonna have it wait a frame. We're gonna find one of those. It's probably some dumb shit like that because I'm always having issues where I need things to wait one frame, and I feel like that's a mistake on my part. Like it's not how I'm doing something wrong in the first place. I'm looking for one. Here we go. Start the coroutine of wait one frame. And then we'll call this, where was that thing? Right here, we'll go. I just never can remember how this shit works. Or not, I know how it works, can never remember, uh, whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I can remember or not remember. I put it in the wrong spot. I don't think this is gonna do it, but it'll be worth checking. I've had many issues with this. Things happening too fast, but it should still be on. There's no reason for it to be off. See, it is that. Why? Okie dokie. It didn't work that time, though. What in flying fuck? What in flying fucks? This was going to be a quick thing to do, and then all of a sudden, it was not a quick thing to do. Um, you know what? I don't think we have a test here to make sure that we're not putting too many people on. We got another bug here. I thought we fixed that. Yeah, it's putting the same people on too. It's assigning the same people to the. Clicking the wrong thing here. We better put a note in here. Yeah. when constructing a building, it is putting the same people on each building. Let's hope I can remember what that means. Yeah, this construction thing should not be this hard. It should be relatively easy, and now we're struggling. I'm struggling. They have the clone assigned. When is this clone getting assigned? Maybe that's part of the problem. I have another idea. I think I can put like 10 in here. And the other thing we can do is we could rename the clone so we can figure out. I have an idea. I think. Okay, my idea didn't work. This Fisher Shack. I'm just making sure I'm the Fisher Shack here. So why wouldn't the second one? Oh, weird. It turned off this one. Is it because it's it is. It's refreshing this and it's turning those off because it's okay, all right. Right. It's reinstantiating them. So this is the problem. Isn't that all right? This is what we need to do here. We have like a multiple issues all in one. This weird thing. Is it this thing? This should be the thing turning it on. This weird thing. I don't know what the fuck this is. Every time it refreshes, what does this say? It says, what did I just get rid of? It's refreshing like it's doing UI possible building. Didn't we? I thought we got rid. Oh, this is the description. Okay, that does need to be there. This needs to be commented out for now. All right. I think I know the issue here. Let's put this. This needs to be updated when or to be uncommented when, fuck you. Sorry, I'm talking to my music. So I hate when like YouTube or whatever, when bands put out records where they have like, or songs where in the middle of the song they stop and they talk about the song. Like, fuck you, I want to listen to the song. This needs to be uncommented when we fix the current building description. And then, okay, so this is the problem. It's reinstantiating those. No, this isn't it. What is this shit? UI building button, I believe, is this thing. UI building button. Is this on Awake? No. What is this shit? We're getting. Okay. All right. Where are we getting this? The fuck? Let's double check that this is what we're doing here. UI building button. They're getting reinstantiated is the problem. And that thing is only turning them on. So let's go back to this too. Let's go to, I'm going to double check. I feel like this is UI building button. UI building button. Okay. This is a prefab. What's happening is we can rename this is being built. Okay. All right. Fuck you. You go away. And then look at all this shit we got going here. This can all just go away. We don't need this thing at all. All right, this is the thing. When this thing wakes up, when it's instantiated, okay, so this is when you click the building, but when this thing wakes up, we can do two things. We need a building info in here. And we need this to go away. And then it's because it doesn't exist for very long. Because it's being reinstantiated each time, and that's why those things aren't sticking, is because it's refreshing that panel, and then it's not happening. You know what? We just got rid of some other thing. This we don't need anymore either. Current workers. I don't think we're going to need that to be a getter setter. I already put that in there. I totally. What is it offering there? Fuck out of here. And I'm not sure. We might have to do this in another spot. Now that I'm thinking about it, but let's see here because it should refresh pretty regularly to build those lists, and that's what's happening. Is it's getting refreshed and it's a new thing. It might be getting reassigned, but that thing, the built is being built has already happened at that point. So we need that when it gets instantiated. What's your fucking problem? This might be taking too long. When I say too long, I mean. Let's see if that puts it a little farther down the list of. I think it goes awake on enable then start or something like that. What it's saying is this thing isn't being assigned quick enough. We were assigning in like the button push, so it was happening quite quickly. Actual building isn't getting assigned quick enough. Where is this thing being assigned? Let's go back to the instantiate. This is going to be under. Now that I'm like on to what the problem is here, I think it should be. It's this thing. So it instantiates this thing, and then it does this other. It's never gonna be fast enough to hit this thing though. So this one definitely is gonna have to be like a wait 2 frames or something. It doesn't. We can't. A human can't click on it fast enough, so it's not a big deal for that one. Where the fuck was that thing? That was here. Yeah, that we might be able to notice this thing clicking on though. Wonder if there's a way to do it. I guess we could put it in start, but I don't think start's gonna do it either. I still think it's gonna be too slow. You know what we could do, actually? Let's not do this. This is gonna go. We're gonna do this instead. Where was this thing? We'll put it right in here. If we have building info right here, so we don't need this shit. We don't have this yet, but we can assign that really easily because building info is right. We can just say building info. No, it's not under building info. It's under that other UI thing. It's under this, which we're already assigning right here. Oh, this is a typo in it. Um, okay. Now let's see. So it's when this stuff is getting instantiated, it should be turning that on and off, which should also be when you hit build, it should refresh those completely. My one fear of this whole thing is that, well, one of my many fears is that we might have like a bazillion items on the list, and it might turn into quite a clusterfuck of instantiating all those objects. Um, uh, HOFMC, how's it going? I'm new to game development and I wanted to ask you for a game idea. It needs to be a 2D pixel art and it can be any genre. I'm going around to streamers and asking their ideas, and I'm going to spin the wheel to decide my fate. Wouldn't you want to pick a game that you want to make? Um, all right, so something went wrong here. When we click on that, what did I delete out of here? Oh, did I accidentally break this button over here in my prefabs? Let's see. I put in Oh, I moved this up here, is what I did. Oh, thank you for the follow as well. HOFMC. Hoffmick. Sorry, I cracked myself up. All right, that fixed that thing. Let's go back to here. I'm very curious to your answer to why you wouldn't pick a game you wanted to make, but you know, I don't know if you're still even around. There's that. So let's max this out here. All right, that solved our problem. All that fucking work for nothing. Because I was barking up the wrong tree. Okay. Uh, oh, that's just this Unity bug. That will go away eventually. Eventually they'll fix it, but you also can fix it by just clicking on this thing. Clicking away from a thing. All right, now we have some other issues here. That is this thing. And this is the one we just did. We got oh, we have this in here twice now. Oops. Wait, let's close this. We have this in here twice. Go away. Then back over to here. I guess we could move this. Where to go? Over to here. It's kind of. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just put it over here. We're almost up to 100. So AI Factions is actually kind of done. This is what we just did. So this is actually done. We're going to close that. That'll go away eventually. That's a different problem, which we do need to fix. So that isn't a good. Oh, we're back to armies over here? All right. I guess we don't have a choice next time. Building improvements needs to skip the workers already working. This we already did. Factions can't go negative in faction, and that's definitely a problem. The AI will never build another food building after it builds one. That is a problem, but that might be a next round problem. We don't really care about that. We're doing it very baby steps, like I always say. Current building is opening possible building. We don't want to do that. So this is the main thing. I only got like 20 minutes left. So, is that right? Yeah, that's right. So we are going to. I'm always fascinated by these people who jump into chat and just say some bullshit and leave. They're usually selling something, and so I was curious what he was selling. It's weird. So he's the guy he was talking about. He wants a game idea. Like, why the fuck would you ask some stranger for that? But let's say he's genuine. I'm curious I'm always curious when people are trying to sell me stuff, especially. So I got hit up on Discord the other day. Someone was trying to get me to stream Clash of Clans, and they said they would give me a bunch of free stuff. And I was confused by that too, because Clash of Clans, I feel like, isn't it like a extremely popular mobile game? Like they need some fucking nobody and I mean, I guess if, but it's such a weird thing to do. And there had to be like a longer term. So he wasn't making any money off of it, I don't think. Because he also had a Facebook page that I looked at and it had like 10 followers and stuff. I was just, what's his long term goal? There's no way he's going to make any money off of getting people to play Clash of Clans and giving them free Clash of Clan tokens or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what Clash of Clans, how that game works. But I'm always very fascinated by the people who jump in and try to sell shit. The buying followers, they're selling you followers. That thing makes sense. But there's also a lot of people who jump in and say like, "Hey, I'm an artist. Hire me." And it's like, not the way to get a job, I don't think. And I wonder how successful those people are. These two probably, this one is the negative influence. I'm curious. Oh, that probably doesn't happen anymore. Let's put a note on this. I think that probably, this probably doesn't happen anymore. Because the factions only build one building. But it will happen later. All right, so this is the one. This is going to be quite of a task here, I think. So build improvements. It goes through. This is the thing where it's assigning, but we actually need to say. So there's two different things with this problem. The problem is it's gonna go well for the AI. It doesn't fucking matter because they're only building one building. But and they're only doing half of their population. But it needs to find. So for this part, so I put in 5 people. It's gonna go through the 5, but it also needs to. So this part would be kind of easy if this is equal to null, then do this stuff. So that's pretty easy, I think. That's what's going to happen. But there's another issue too. What happens if I build 3 buildings and I only have 10 people and I put 5 in there? There's no check for that. But let's check to make sure this works. I'll probably have to put a note in and then call it a day. Max build, and then max build. Now there should be, yeah, it didn't work. They're building the forest shack, which we built second. It should have skipped these people. Did I not save this shit? I did save it. Okay, though. So it's going to go. Did I do Garden Shack second? I have a new, I think I know what happened here. I thought I did Garden Shack first, but maybe I didn't. The problem is that it's already, we're going to have to do like a count. What am I doing? Forest Shack. Yeah, so what it did is it just skipping all these people, which we want it to do, but it needs to skip those people. The number of workers. Can I do this? Let's see. This might be a disaster. If we just add one, if we add a number, if we add, it will keep going. So the number of workers needs to go up one because we skipped somebody. This could work. It's gonna could be a fucking disaster. Yeah, the other thing that's interesting with the people in chat is that they often get banned like later, but right, like they follow and then they immediately unfollow because it doesn't tell you that they unfollowed, but they follow to get your attention and then they unfollow because they don't actually give a shit. Like if you really were trying for this type of thing, you wouldn't just jump in. So they're going for like a numbers game. They're just going to go through everybody on the list and hit it up there. Um, but what they should do if they really wanted to do it this way is, hang out and chat for weeks, join their Discord, really suck the guy's dick to get him to try to get him to buy this stuff. This didn't implode. It worked. Nice. So then the next thing we got to look at, well, the AI is only going to do one currently, so that's. But let's just run it and see what happens. Oh no, kitty! I didn't want to squish him. Um, we're just gonna looking for errors here. Then I think I'm gonna call it a day. We've actually got. Um, okay, that looks like it's working. I was just thinking about something. Let's try. Well, we don't have enough people to do it. Um, oh, there's only two of them. There's Fisher. Oh no, there is Forest and Garden. Okay, they should be five of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you click on these guys, it doesn't tell them what they're doing. Okay, so what I was thinking about is what happens if you're at a population. There's no check for that. We can keep going until and it's actually would cause an error. So there's an easy way to check that though. And we're probably not going to fix it right now. We just turn this down to 10. And this will just make 10 people up here. Yeah, it's gonna fucking freak out because it's gonna keep trying to go through the list. It might even crash. I kind of like crashing. It's fun. Um, all right, so all 10 people should be working at this point. So now we get the fun of what happens now. Um, so let's put that in. Let's put that in here, and then so we can probably do that tomorrow if I stream tomorrow. Uh, this actually shouldn't be under AI factions. This should be. This is done. And then on here, though, we need building improvements. Before building improvements, it needs to check that there is enough idle people. So we'll probably have the banker do that. Well, I might want to rename the banker to something more sinister sounding, because it's this done thing is kind of pointless. The banker is like more of like your concierge. Can't say the word today. He's the person who is directing, the construction, the money being spent on the construction. He's not building this stuff himself, but he's making sure there's enough workers. He's less of a banker and he's more of like an accountant or something. He's an Excel spreadsheet. Fuck you, an archive. All right, we'll do a couple of these and then we'll do like the next 10 and then I'll call it a day. I see some of these are pretty young. I'm just looking by the number here. We should probably look for young ones first. Here's a one from 100. Young being as in they're old. Young as in old. Here's like 58. If it's less than 100, we'll knock it out here. That's the issue number. And then I'll call it a day. All right. That's enough of that shit for now. Let's push this shit to, let's close this and we'll push this to GitHub. This is, Faction AI is actually, well, the thing we do tomorrow will apply to the Faction AI because we'll need to put that check in there before both the faction and the other thing. But right now, this is player UI building of buildings is working. Fixed. It's fixed because we had it working before. We also got rid of some code. That is it for me, though. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good existence.